Hello guys, my name is Cyber33 and in this tutorial we are going to create this beautiful web page in CSS and HTML. The goal for this tutorial is that you learn about basics of HTML and CSS. If I resize my page, you can see everything is scalable to a degree because we are not using Bootstrap or any other tool. We are just using pure HTML and pure CSS. I have to fill each input in a specific way in order to work and in order to be able to sign up. Then when I click on sign up button, I go to another page, my logo and my text. If I click on this logo, it will take me to my YouTube channel. So you will learn how to connect this page into other websites or other pages as well, and how to work with many concepts of HTML and CSS. So, without waste of any time, let us get started. The first thing to do is creating a project folder. This is the folder where you put the HTML file and CSS file and any other assets that you need in your project. You can download all of the files in my GitHub. Link is in the description, so check this out. And we are going to open this folder in VS Code. We need 4 other files here: home.html, home.css, thanks.html, and thanks.css. We need to install HTML CSS support extension. This makes our work much easier and much faster. Alright, go to home.html and type HTML5. Boom, I have full HTML tag here. I have head, I have body, I can specify the title. I'll show you what it is in a few minutes. So title is cyber.33, maybe any title you want. Then don't forget to add a link to your CSS file here. This makes your HTML connected to CSS file. Because it is in the same folder as my HTML, just typing home.css is enough. To run this code in your browser, right-click on your HTML file, click on copy path, and paste the path right here. Here is my page, and this is my title on the bottom left right here, cyber.33. We don't need to create a list in our project, but I'm going to show you how it works. Just type OL, which means ordered release, and inside I have LI, which is list item. In the middle of list item tags, you can type the items you want. For example, 1, 2, 3. Or here you could have images or links or any other thing here. If I reload my web page, you can see I have a ordered list here. Has 3 items in it. Instead of OL, type UL, and for the closing tag as well. If I type UL, you can see I have unordered list. That's it for the list. Now let's jump into divs, paragraphs, and headings. In HTML, you can use div tag to group many other items in it. For example, you wanna add many inputs or many text in one group together. If you wanna do this, then you have to use div tag. I have 2 div in my web page. One is at the top, so I give it ID top. One is at the bottom, which contains all of my inputs in it. I give it ID button. ID depends on you. You can give it any ID you want. HTML has 6 headings. H1 is the biggest heading and H6 is the smallest heading. Inside top div, I need heading 1 here, and I'm gonna add a big title at top of my website. And H2, which is a smaller heading. Reload the page. Welcome to Cybersecurity website. What is this page for? Later on, I wanna change the text color for this Cyber33. So I have to put it into span tag so I can later change the color in CSS. I have only one span tag in my project. If you have multiple span tag, you can give each one an ID or class, but I don't need it right now. If I reload the page, you can see nothing is changed. The reason is we want to change the color in CSS. So span is just to address this thing. All right. Any normal text with normal size, we should put it inside paragraph tag. Opening p tag, closing p tag, and paste or type any text you want between them. I have 2 lines of text here. If I reload, you can see only all of them in 1 line. In order to go to other line, you have to type a simple BR. It has no closing tag, just means go to the next line. As simple as that. And now if I reload, everything is perfect. It is time to create a table. So table tag, inside table tag, I have TR, which means table row. I have TD, which means table cell or table data. Simply, I have 1 row and 3 columns. I'm gonna add my course names here, for example, basic, personal, and organization. Then I can create another row. I'm gonna add information about each course. This is my table. If you want to add border for it, you can add border here. Also, you can add table head or T head. TH tag, it is the same as TD, but it is bold and it is aligned in the center. Instead of 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna add images. IMG tag, you have to specify the source, alternative text in case there's some problem with your image file. The source is inside my main folder, 1.png. Let's say 11.png. That's to show you how alternative text works. Same for 2 and 3 image. Because I have no such a thing in my image, so alternative text will show up. 1, 2, and 3. Let's fix the image source. 3.png, 2.png, 1.png. Same name as here. Very beautiful. Let's put basic, personal, and organization inside a strong tag to make them bold. Alright, top div is complete. Let's jump into input tags and bottom div. Because I'm gonna get informations of my user and do something with it in the backend, I need to create a form to do that. The things I'm gonna do is here in action. It means when I submit the form, go to thanks.html. In this form, I have a table. I don't have a table head. I just have border 1 and 3 table rule. In first row, I have td, username input type equals text, closing td tag. Another td tag, password, input type equals password. They work. We adjust the size and color and everything else in CSS. TD, email type input, and just an email text to specify what it is. Another TD, select text, and I have a select tag, not input. Give it a name to access the variables later on. You have 3 options to choose. Backend value is 1, 2, 3. Front-end value is basic, personal, and organization. This is my select. This is my email. For the third row, I also have 2 columns, so add 2 TD in it. First one is submit button, and second one is remember me checkbox. All right. To access the actual variable of each input, you have to give them a specific name. Name equals user, name equals pass, name equals mail, name equals curse, name equals remember. Let me show you how this one actually works. Username S, password A, select course personal. I have to specify an email. Check the remember me and submit button. You can see all the informations right here in the address. I am inside thanks.html and I have all the inputs here with that specific name, all in here. Sometimes to adjust the style of a HTML tag inside CSS, you have to specify class or an ID to access that in CSS. class capital Z for username, for password, for email, for select, for submit button, for checkbox. Class forms for text input, for password input, for select tag, for email input, class forms inside for tag, class capital Z inside 6 tag. But ID must be unique. For this one, ID equals btn. For my checkbox input, ID equals box. We are done. If I reload my web page, you can see no change. The reason is we defined all the classes and IDs to access each tag in CSS. So to see the differences and to see what we have done, you must adjust them inside CSS file. But for now, let's finish everything in HTML. I forgot to mention, if you want to change the text for your submit button, you can specify the value here. Value, for example, equals sign up. If I reload, you see sign up here. And if I click, you can see I got into thanks.html, but I didn't insert anything here. To make them a must, you need to type required inside the input tag. Inserting username and password is a must. Problem solved. Home.html is complete. Now let's jump into thanks.html. Everything is like before: HTML file, head tag, body tag, change the title to thanks or thank you. Link it into its own CSS file, which is thanks.css. Site body, I have a div tag. ID is thanks. I can create anchor tag just by typing a and defining a reference to go to. And I have heading 1 that says thank you. For anchor tag, I can use just a simple text or an image tag. Anchor tag reference is youtube.com/cyber.33. Here is thank you heading and YouTube link as a anchor tag. If I click on it, it takes me to my YouTube channel. Instead of simple text, I want to use image. So when I click on the image, it takes me to my YouTube channel. Image source is mark.png. Click on image. It worked. I don't know how much subscribers I have by the time you are watching this, but right now as a record, I have 8 subscribers. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Let's jump into the CSS part. Okay, my web page is here and this is my home CSS. First step is adding my custom font. Add sign, font face, font family inside quotation type custom, src, column, URL, inside parentheses, type the actual address of your font file, which is this file here. It is a TTF file in this main folder, and add a format for it. Format is true type. My font is imported here. To use that font, I have to activate it for my body tag. Type body, font family, column, inside quotation type custom. Default font size for body tag is 16 pixels, 16px. I have a background image for my body tag, URL, and address of this background image, pixels.jpg. Set the background size to auto. Reload. That's it. Now I'm gonna add border and background color for top div. In CSS, when you wanna call a ID, you have to put hashtag before it. Hashtag top, which means the element that has ID top. Background color is RGBA 0 red, 139 green and blue, and 0.6 alpha. Border width is 20 pixels. Border style is solid. Border color is RGB 127186. Border radius is 20 pixels. That's it for background and border. As you can see, everything is so fit. We have no empty space between content and border, and we have no empty space on left and right. Right-click on page and select Inspect. In any HTML concept, we have content, padding. I have no padding. There is no distance between actual content and border. Then we have border. At the end, I have margin, which is outside of border. So the problem is margin and padding. Let's add them. You can set padding by using pixels or percent. I'm gonna use percent. 1% padding, 10% padding on each side, but for top and bottom side, I'm 10% margin for each side, but for the bottom side and top side, I'm gonna set the margin to static 7 pixels. this is the result. This is content, padding, border, and margin. Everything is perfect. Let's jump into bottom div. Bottom div and hashtag bottom. Copy and paste the exact same code for bottom div. Our homepage is much more beautiful now, but we are not finished yet. If you remember from HTML part, we had this span tag here for Cyber33. Let's add span here and change the color for it. Okay, it is time to align everything in the center. Headings, texts, paragraphs, and tables. H1, text align, column, center, semicolon. Exact same thing for H2 tag and P tag. For TD tag, which was our table cells, add 1% padding. I got padding for each table on top and bottom side. Okay, they are all good. Table, text align, center. Table font size is a little bit bigger depending on the main body font size. 1.2 multiplied by 16, which was the main size fonts. And that's the reason why I typed 1.2 EM instead of PX or percent. It means if I increase the body font size, this table font size will be increased accordingly. If you see the page at full screen, you will notice that this table here is not alright. To fix this problem, we have to add auto margin to each table. So table at the top is okay, and table at the bottom will be fixed in the middle when I reload the page. Okay, problem solved. Let's make this checkbox a little bigger. Hashtag box, transform scale to. It is done. To change the color, you have to type accent color, paste your color here. Please notice that my submit button has ID btn and checkbox has ID box. Change the background color for hashtag btn and it is changed. Font family is not changed, so we have to define it here. Because the default font size is 16 pixels, if I define the font size here to EM, it means the font size right now is 32 pixels. You can add border radius to make the button a little rounded. To call this class Z and class forms, in CSS you have to type a dot before calling them. Dot Z, font family custom, text line right, font size 1.2 EN. It didn't work. What is the problem? class forms, font family custom, font size 1 em, width 40%. Let me show you the result. In bottom div, you can see each input width is 40% and they are all aligned at the right side of their own table cells. Home CSS is complete. Let's jump into thanks CSS. But before that, let me show you a quick tip about tables. Just a quick note, if you want to get rid of the borders, you can type 0 in your HTML border section. Then you have no border for your tables. And I think it is more beautiful this way. The first thing to do in thanks CSS, copy font face and body from previous section. Remember that all of them are inside thanks div. So hashtag thanks, position absolute, 50% top, 50% left, transform translate, minus 50%, minus 50%. This code will center everything. Let's make the text white. Now I have to add background and border like previous section. There is nothing more to explain. %2 padding. A specific margin for my anchor tag, which is my image. I think 12% is perfect. We are done. This is our final result. That's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. You can download all the files in my GitHub. As I said, you can find the link in the description. If you learned anything new, don't forget to like the video and subscribe and share it with the people who need it. See you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.